What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine,
And I am still James.
and we got an epic movie review for you for The Invisible Man. But before we do that, we got an intro. All right, all right. So, The Invisible Man. What's her name? Her name Elizabeth Moss. Was that her name?
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
So let's see here. Oops. Shit. All right. So, Invisible Man starring Elizabeth Moss. That dropped this weekend. We both went to go see it. It was a damn good movie, man. It was a good horror movie. With it was actually more of a thriller with horror in it. Would you say that?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because one of the hallmarks of like a good thriller is like it's not even that you're scared; it's that you can't get comfortable watching it. You
Yeah.
know?
And I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. It was the soundtrack kind of like caught me off guard. It was actually some real good scary movie like sounds in the movie. You
Yeah.
know, when they had them doing this Invisible Man stuff, where you was like, where for me it was like, damn, I like that. That's kind of suspenseful sounding. You know, it's kind
Yeah.
of old school like. You know, but
I'll tell you
I
something
really
else that
liked it.
I'm gonna tell you something else that really works for this is like because their premise is that you can't see him. Every time you hear a stray sound in the theater, you gotta check yourself. Like, wait, what's that?
Dude, they did that so well because when she heard noise and she turned around and look, it's nothing there. I'm looking like in every little corner, like
Yep.
for a clue, like where he at?
Yes.
Where he at?
Exactly.
I know he over there.
I'm
Where is he sitting there? Is he sitting right in that seat? You know what
like,
I'm saying?
I'm trying to track stuff, see if he's moved anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what, like I said, you can't get comfortable in this movie because you're constantly looking for him.
Right. It's like they did so much with so little, where they created all this tension and all this tension and drama, where it's it could be nothing there. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, because this is my thing, right? So look, like just watching this movie, they basically just had her, a film crew, and 5 locations,
Right.
and that's more or less it. Like that's their movie.
But that's that good filmmaking, man. You can make a good movie without explosions and all the special effects and all that. You don't need computer graphic and all that. You know, keep it minimal, keep it tight with a good script, and you can make a movie for less than $10 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the synopsis of the main plot. So the movie about I don't remember her name in the movie. Elizabeth Moss. Cecilia, yeah. I don't know how I forgot that because the black dude kept calling AC, AC, AC. I was like, all right, bro. But anyway, Cecilia is in an abusive relationship where she's got a controlling husband, and the movie kind of starts off where she's trying to get away from this relationship, and she's pretty much, I guess, she feel like she a hostage. She can't just like leave, like, and they kind of show you in the movie this guy is not going to let her just go, you know.
And even
And
go as far as to have her exhibit like traits of like battered spouse syndrome. You know?
oh, most definitely, because even after she got away from him, she was jumping at every little shadow. She would not leave the house. She was like real mousy after. I mean, I don't know how she was before she was with him, but he had her. He had her shook. You know,
For
sure. So that's where the movie kind of starts, where she gets away from him, and it wasn't easy either because they did this good moment at the beginning where she was almost gone. You know, you kind of take that side because they built the tension at the beginning where she was trying to get away, where she couldn't make no noise and stuff, and this moment where she where you could take you could take a breath. You know, you as the audience took a breath like, whew, oh, she got out that situation, and out of nowhere, hey, 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 open this door, open this door. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and the way they build that tension too is like you feel just as like unsafe in that situation as she is in a lot of these scenes.
Yes, they did a great job of putting yourself in the main character's shoes. You felt like you was there with them. You think like, hurry up, because I don't want to get caught too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly, man.
So, okay, she get away from this relationship, and she's very, nervous because she think he's gonna find her. She's staying with her. They didn't really say the relationship between okay, I can't remember his name. His name's something Hodges.
Aldous Hodge.
Okay, Aldous Hodge. He played in he been playing in a few things. He was in I remember he was in the NWA movie as MC Ren. But he was in some other stuff too. He been kind of climbing up. He been moving up. He's basically a friend of her sister's, I guess. So they never really say their relationship. Like first I thought that there was his old girlfriend, or maybe there was an old girlfriend. I thought that was his daughter's mother.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. They just, it didn't match up. But
I think they're just supposed to be like old friends.
Right. I guess just old friends. They never really established that, but it's fine. He probably was an old boyfriend, whatever. And he was a cop, so she was staying with him, because he was like, he was a cop. She felt safe there, and so she get the news that he died. So now she can take a sigh of relief. He committed suicide. That's what they say on the paper. And she take a sigh of relief. She cool, and next thing you know, she go back home. Things start to not feel right. First she was kind of cool. She was kind of like not being so scared no more. She kind of started to take her life back, and then little stuff started to happen. Those are the tension moments that I liked that they was building. They was building good tension where it was just a dark room. And when they do stuff like that, it don't take no special effects. No, they just play with your mind. You know what I'm saying?
And especially like I have to think that that's got to be like a good challenge for an actor, because like her job is to sit there and act like every single thing in that room is like terrifying her.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, okay.
So like he has to carry that whole scene,
Right. And a lot of the main focus was she didn't know the name of the movie, Invisible Man. So we already know it's an invisible man. She didn't know nothing about this. So far as she knows, she in the house and she kind of like heard something. And when you sense something's there or somebody's there, but it's like you feel like, well, am I going crazy? Because I'm hearing shit. It's just nothing there, Right. So it just came to the point where she kind of like, she's kind of chilling. Then she kind of like, when she's home alone, she hears something. And like I said, this is where they play on your suspense, where she'd turn the light on and just look, and then she'd turn around, and then you kind of like, you looking, because they had a camera linger, and you be looking like, is something gonna move? Did something move? It is like they absolutely did nothing, but they played on with your mind so much that you kind of making the horror yourself. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me.
And like there's a lot of that, like, it's like when you're a kid and you think there's something hiding in the shadows, it's like they just let your mind build up what's going on, and it's like, oh, it's nothing.
Right.
Or was it?
I mean, right, but see, the thing is, when you don't see anything, it's like, when you got the light off and you think, oh, something there, you turn the light on and you don't see nothing, you get that relief. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, she don't see nothing, but you still kind of feel something there. And she kind of like, wait, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That's where the movie started to pick up, man. So at first, they had them doing little pranks and shit, where they started making it obvious to the audience that, okay, first you kind of wonder she crazy because nothing really happened. You know,
Right.
you just kind of like heard a little something like maybe the wood creak or something, and you was like, okay, it could be in her mind. You know, it might not be. No, it's just part of me kind of wondered, are they gonna do this all in her mind? She just crazy.
Well, because like I thought about that, and the thing that's I find most interesting about the way they made this movie is that still would have been a good movie the way they were handling it.
Yeah, that would have been kind of interesting if she was just crazy. But they made it clear after about 30 minutes in. I don't know if it's that long, but about a third of the way to the movie that no, she's not crazy. It's things starting to move on their own. Where okay, something going on. So they had things just kind of like move, and then they had like turn the like turn the stove on super high, burn her food and stuff. I'm like, man, this dude doing pranks.
Like, because that was like my first thing was like, is he that petty?
Yeah, right. So, and I'm thinking like, okay, you found her. If you found where she was at, because you a abusive spouse, whatever, you went through all this trouble just to stalk her. That have to be the next thing people talking about. What
Like,
the
because
hell?
like,
Go
because
ahead.
that's one of the things that really one of the few things in this movie that didn't really sell well to me is that he could have done all of this without faking his
You're
death.
right.
He didn't have to go through all that trouble, but like, bro, you could have done all of this while she knew you was alive, and still no one would have believed her because what folk don't believe you invisible.
Dude, okay, so and I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I'm not gonna tell you how this dude became invisible. This just say, and they say this in the trailer. He's some kind of scientist, and he made a technology that that can turn a person invisible. So you could do anything with that. You could do. You could sell
I
that.
mean, because he's basically just a modern version of the character from the novel in the original movie.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I mean, the object of his affection or the original character wasn't stuck on a person, right? It
right.
because the original thing was the formula made him go mad. You know, like where the original one was when he became invisible. The formula that he used made his mind because they was like it's going to make him go crazy over
Well, he shouldn't have
time.
put opium in it then.
You said what now?
Then he shouldn't have put opium in it.
Okay, whatever. My point is, it seemed like this dude was already crazy, and the technology had nothing to do with why he was doing what he was doing.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean, but yeah.
but see,
Well,
no,
no, like in the book though, in the original book, like they made it out where it's like he was probably already a psychopath before the process.
well, I mean that's kind of the whole premise where given that power, it's too tempting to do
Right.
stuff. It's too tempting to do the wrong thing. You can go anywhere, do anything. You know, it's the temptation is there. But it just I know everybody got to be asking that question. This dude can turn invisible. Why do you chase one girl and then you chase some plain looking chick that's like because the dude was already rich. His place was
Yeah.
dope. He had a Tony Stark lab. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
already was rich. He already had what he had good looks, money, anything you want. He was a
Well, I
genius,
mean,
good looks and money. And then, she was like some mousy looking average chick. Like why and she even said it. Why me?
like
You
I'll
can have
even tell
anybody.
you, at least 8 times out of 10, it always is. Like
What
those
is?
like those kind of guys always go for a chick that they can convince. Like you would never be the chick that gets all of this. So
Yeah.
why would you risk it? It's like the chick that you
Kind of
expect
like
to see from
50
that
Shades of
dude.
Grey.
Yeah, yeah. Like the chick that usually gets that dude, she can go and get 5 more of that guy just walking down the street.
Yeah, so okay, stupid. But anyway, all right, whatever. He's obsessed over her. But see, this what I'm thinking. He's stalking her. He's doing shit. It started off with small shit. It started off uh with him like in the middle of the night taking her blankets off, You know what I'm saying? It's like then it started to escalate where he'll just hit somebody, and then they be like, "What the fuck?" You know, and then you wonder like, well, they got to know that that person didn't hit them. If
Yeah,
you and I are the only two people in the room, and somebody smacked the shit out of me, I'm gonna look at you and say, "What the fuck?" I would be pissed. I was like, "Motherfucker, you just hit me." You know what
like
I'm saying?
the only thing about that one that I'm looking at is like most of the folks I know, like I'm gonna look. I know you ain't got hands that fast. Do it again.
It's like, oh, you caught me when I wasn't looking. I'm looking now. What the? Bring it on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't ready before, but I'm ready now.
Yeah, I know. But that was part of the thing. He was making everybody believe that she was crazy.
Yeah,
He was making everybody believe that she was a nutcase. And I would have been believing that too. I would have been believing that it's in their head, man. Get that crazy bitch away from me. You know what I'm saying?
right,
That's the way I would have been thinking,
right.
because everything she was doing, she was it just looked crazy because, like I said, he'll hit somebody while they the only two people in the room where she close enough to that person, and they look up like, "What the hell? You just hit me!" You know.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, and then it escalated. It went further and further, and I'm not going to spoil what stuff he was doing, but it escalated to a point where she just like lost her freedom. Like she pretty much had to go to jail. I mean, I don't know if that's spoiling anything, but it really escalated, and then it gets to a point where stuff will happen, and it's, you know what how she'll look when she say, "It wasn't me. My husband that's dead is invisible, and he did it."
Like and the thing that got me is like she said it like it made so much sense.
I
Too.
mean,
It's like,
what you expect, though? You know what I'm saying? If you know you ain't doing this,
but it makes it so much worse. Like she got the crazy eyes and everything.
I know
You
her
know,
eyes do look like she a
like she
crazy.
ain't been getting good sleep. She ain't been
Yeah.
eating and drinking right. So it's like she looked crazier than anybody's ever looked. And it's like, no, you don't understand. It wasn't me. It was my husband. He did it.
Like, get your crack. Look, my response after she slapped the shit out of me, and it said it was my dead husband that's invisible. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tell you like this: you better get your crazy ass the hell away from me, or I'm gonna slap them eyes crossed, because you better get the because ain't nobody buying this invisible husband shit. So, yeah, I mean that was the good, man. So I mean, and we could talk about some of the horror moments, because it kind of shifted from a thriller to a horror to kind of a science fiction, almost like a science fiction. Well, I mean, because the technology is kind of like a science fiction thing.
Well,
where,
even the original was a sci-fi horror.
yeah. I mean, the whole concept is a science fiction thing, where it's just, and I don't want to say what the technology was, but it was times that you could see them, and it was things they was doing where it was kind of cool, how they was, how they used this effect where you can kind of see them and then you couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So I really like what they did, and that was kind of like it was like horror, but to me, I felt like I was watching an action movie opposed to, you know what I'm saying, opposed to a horror.
Well, like, because like there's even a sense like the implementation of his invisibility in and of itself has a creepy look to it. So it's like there's little touches on it that's like, ooh, I don't like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just, to me, it was like kind of a cool way they had it, where they was have him slightly visible at some points. It was kind of cool, kind of effect how they did that to me, where it and the way it seemed like, okay, you don't see nothing, and then something just grab you, and the way they did it was kind of cool, and it like I said, it turned kind of like almost an action scene there. So I really like that, man. And they did something at the end that was kind of a horror. It was a horror cliche, and then tell me you saw that. You saw that coming. That the something they did at the end. Did you see that coming?
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually waiting for like
Well, I didn't see the very what happened at the very end. I was cool with that, but something they did right before that, right before that end scene, where I was like, oh, I knew before they revealed something.
yeah,
Oh, I knew exactly what they about to do with
like
her.
about the time it became clear what the whole like the real plot was.
Uh huh.
I figured out how it was gonna, that was what they were gonna do with that.
Yeah.
But the like the absolute end, that one I kind of saw coming a mile off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and I don't want to talk about the exact thing that happened, but uh, it was a cooler ending. I mean, because they did like a little cliche horror movie ending, and then they kind of gave you a little more after that. You know how
yeah,
like movies they'll just end right there, you
yeah.
know, and that'd be that. But they kind of gave you a little more to finish it out, and I'm like, I'm satisfied with that ending.
And that's the key word, satisfied. That was a very satisfying ending.
Yes, and that'd be the problem with a lot of these movies. They can't bring it home. They give you the same old Hollywood by the book ending, and then you be like, here we go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it loses luster. But this movie, it ended, it ended good. It ended good. I liked it, and it kind of left something open where it can be something else later. And that's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say about that because I don't want to spoil anything.
right.
So let me give it my rating, man. I give this movie. I give this movie a very solid, very high dope. Uh, you know, I kind of want to give it an epic, but it was dope. It was dope. I give it a good high dope. Had a lot of fun with it. It was a good horror movie, good sci-fi, good action. You can put all those, a good thriller. You can put all those in this movie. You can label these movies. You can label it all those. I mean, not a straight action, but it was enough action that you can say, "Oh, I had some fun watching that action." But it was a good movie. I really I enjoyed the suspense in the beginning. I enjoyed some of the ideas that was done there, and it brought it home with a good ending. So for me, I give it a very high dope. What'd you give it?
You know, I'm gonna have to give it a high dope as well. It's like it's such a satisfying movie. It doesn't require any kind of explanation. It doesn't require you to like say, well, that's not possible. All you have to do is sit there and let the movie happen,
Yeah,
and all the real terror of it, isn't even the gimmick. That's the great thing about it. It's just the setting gives you enough reason to stay on the edge of your seat.
right.
You don't have to worry about, oh, what what's that? Why do you do that? It's like everything is just, did he do something?
Yeah,
And that, man, I love it.
they could have did. They could have did this movie without him being invisible though, and it still would have been pretty good. But I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
Now, my question is this a jump off for a universe or is this just a standalone movie?
I haven't heard if they still want to do that universe or not.
I know
So
it's kind of pissed me off, but the thing is, the fact that now Blumhouse got it, I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's gonna be cheap,
yeah,
but it's a good idea. Where now I bet you Universal going to see how much money they make back on this because I know they didn't spend too much on this, so I
right.
know they're going to make a healthy profit on
Yeah,
this.
it's gonna be all profit.
So the question is, what are they going to do? Are they going to trust Blumhouse to create them a whole universe, or are they going to do the dark universe again? Please don't do that.
Well, if nothing else, Universal is better about this sort of thing than Sony. If you're working with folks that got a good vision and they have a handle on the material, Universal is more likely to just let them work. So hopefully, whether this is just a franchise of horror movies or an actual like universe, it should be good either way.
Yeah, agreed. Uh, so we'll see, man. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a universe with Blumhouse, though. Don't Universal Don't do what you try to do with Tom Cruise. They try to do big budget action movies with the monsters in it. No, good. Keep it contained. Keep it small, and I wouldn't mind. But see, we can see a horror universe. I don't need to see a hero team up.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's the thing. Is like they got it in the heads. You know what it was? I think they were trying to come back and make their own kind of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen type.
That's
thing.
what exactly they was trying to do, and it was a bad idea.
And the thing is, like, one of the best things about that movie was it didn't seem like it was supposed to be a heroic movie.
Well, see, the thing is also right, and the thing is also, it would be cool to see these monsters cross over into the same movie, but it's got to be done right.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them team up against a bigger villain. They would look like they was using that same blueprint that superhero movies was doing, and you got a monsters. This is stupid. It's been done. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen already did it. Extraordinary Gentlemen already did it.
You know, and I think the real thing is, as long as they let the monsters be monsters, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know, it's like if the mummy comes in and tries to steal one of Dracula's victims, and they have to beef to see who's going to get him in the end. That's fine, but I don't want one of them to be the hero of the story.
Right. Well, they always plan on being a hero. Let me wrap this up, man. This is our review for The Invisible Man. Thanks for checking us out. And we're gonna jump into that trailer reaction for the Candyman. We'll do a little 15-minute. But thanks for checking out the video. Subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 1,000 subs, so
Also,
sub would be much appreciated.
Also, like the video and comment down below. What's the pettiest thing you would do if you were? That's what I want to know.
Hey man, yeah, I know, man. Dude could have stole. He could have robbed banks. He could have got money. He could have got whatever he wanted, and he wanted to stalk his ex-girlfriend. What an idiot! Which you don't need to be invisible to do.
He's already rich. He doesn't need to be invisible to do none of it.
Right, I know. I guess he was just bored. He already had everything he wanted.
Well, I made the suit. I why wouldn't I use it?
Yeah, you can use it for other things. All right, man. We out of here. Appreciate anyone for checking us out. We out of here. Peace.